Across the wires and through the air, those who seek will find me there. Story, wonder, voice, and art, find the ears and find the heart. Picture this: the edge of a field at dusk, with the air smelling of clay and warm dust, the last bit of sunlight spilling gold over thickets of mesquite and prickly pear, and from the underbrush comes a faint rustling sound, the low shuffle of a creature half hidden in shadow. A little armored figure waddles out, cautious yet purposeful. Its back gleams with overlapping plates, neither scale nor shell, but bone and skin fused into living armor. Soft belly, hard back. Humble yet unyielding. The armadillo. Part rabbit, part turtle, Eyotochictli, as the Aztecs called it, or turtle rabbit, is a paradox wrapped in plates, and found in myths as both humble teacher and clever trickster, as an underworld guide and a symbol of protection. It scurries through stories spanning from the ancient codices of the Maya and Aztec to roadside folklore in Texas and beyond. Tonight, as we follow its tracks from creation myths and cosmic lessons to modern magic, and ask what this strange little creature has to teach us. My dear listener, welcome to Wishcrafting, where we go beyond and into the wild spaces to seek what magic waits for us there. Like tonight with the armadillo. Armadillos belong to the family Dasypotidae, and they are very close cousins of anteaters and sloths, the last surviving members of an ancient lineage that once included giant ground sloths and glyptodonts the size of small cars. Of the 20 armadillo species, the 9-banded armadillo is the most widespread, ranging from Argentina and into the southern U.S. It's the only armadillo to cross into North America, expanding northward over the past century and becoming the unofficial mascot of Texas. Beloved by some, maligned by others, but undeniably iconic. I mean it when I say that the armadillo has some extraordinary traits. They have a flexible, bony armor and the ability to jump 3 feet straight up into the air when startled. But beyond that, they can also hold their breath for 6 minutes to walk along any waterway that they get stuck in. So if they fall into a river, no big deal. They can hold their breath for 6 minutes and just walk along the bottom. And if that for some reason fails them, they have the ability to blow up their intestines so that they float to the surface. They're burrowers by instinct, carving little dens underneath the Earth's surface into soft soil, and emerging at dusk and hunting throughout the night, eating things like insects, roots, carrion, and fallen fruit. When they walk very low and very cautiously, hugging the ground and listening for danger, while also constantly sniffing. That little snoofer never stops. Armadillos are creatures of thresholds, living both above and below, making them a, you might have already guessed it, liminal creature. Pew, 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 pew. But it doesn't stop there, because the armadillo appears across creation stories and cosmic lessons throughout the Americas. Among the Chinantec people of Oaxaca, a story tells of a goddess rushing to a cosmic celebration, a birth party, Not just any birthday, a birthday for the world itself. She's going to the world's birthday party, okay? And she's rushing to get there because she's late. And in her haste, she fashioned the armadillo's shell from the nearest thing in her hand, her weaving loom. The plates on its back, they say, are the goddess's weaving bars, hurriedly tied around the soft creature to shield it. A reminder that beauty can come from improvisation. For me, this story is a reminder that sometimes we really have to get out of our own way so that we can create our best work. Some of the best work that I have produced, poetry, art, but I'm really thinking of writing here, has happened when I just let it flow, or when I just needed to express myself and I stopped putting boundaries on myself and I let it happen. That's, in my opinion, what this story is all about. The goddess creates this really strong, resilient, and unassuming, but very clever creature in a rush. She's not thinking about it. She's just using what she's got, making it happen because she needs to get this taken care of on her way to the world's birthday party. And I think that's a really cool story. It's really cute. And armadillos are really cute, so that is on brand. In Maya legend, the armadillo plays an unexpected role in a divine lesson on humility. Hachakyum, the sun god, grew weary of two arrogant deities who were squabbling over honor. To teach them a lesson and humble them, he transformed a simple bench into living armadillos. The gods, still quarreling and squabbling over something petty and trying to figure out whose honor was better than the others and who had acted in the best way and who had blah, 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 they didn't even see that the bench had turned into armadillos. So they go and they sit down, and the moment they sit on the not bench, the armadillos flip the gods onto their backs, making them completely forget about their argument, and instead launching them into a fit of laughter, which immortalized the armadillo as a reminder to always stay humble, or the earth itself may topple you. Alongside the lesson that sometimes you really just need to let it go and have a laugh. Also in Maya cosmology, their underworld deity, the god El, who was often associated with merchants, tobacco, and death, sometimes appears cloaked in armadillo imagery. Some of their codices depict him with a cape that is patterned like armadillo plates, or as even transforming into the creature itself. And this symbolism is really potent, because the armadillo, who is a digger and a dweller of burrows, mirrors the god's dominion over Xibalba, the Mayan underworld. In the Popol Vuh, the great Mayan creation epic, the hero twins must outwit the lords of Xibalba through clever disguises. At one point, they take the forms of three humble animals: a poor-will bird, a weasel, and an armadillo. The armadillo disguise allows them to evade suspicion, using humility and earthliness to triumph where strength is going to fail. Which brings another lesson into the zeitgeist, but it's one that's a paradox. One that reminds us that there's always a gray area. The lesson that soft can be strong, and that humble can be heroic. Across cultures, armadillos embody protection, resilience, and adaptability. Their shell naturally suggests defense, spiritual armor, as well as physical. Folk beliefs in parts of Mexico and the American South hold that armadillos can ward off evil spirits, with their shells sometimes hung near doorways or used as talismans for safety and protection. Armadillos also symbolize new beginnings, emerging from burrows after danger and thriving in harsh conditions, steadily expanding their range even today. So far, they have made it as far as my state, which is North Carolina. Which I know because my sister and I went to Charleston maybe 2 years ago now, maybe a year. Anyways, as we were going, we noticed there were lots of armadillos on the side of the road, which sparked this episode, actually. I had no idea that armadillos lived in South Carolina. And when I looked it up, I found that they had actually made it as far as North Carolina. And when I say made it this far, I'm talking about the Great Armadillo Exodus. And yes, that is an official term that naturalists and scientists are using to describe the event that took place when the armadillos of Texas decided to relocate themselves all together up the East Coast, so far making it as far as North Carolina. And something about the Great Armadillo Exodus just really piqued my interest, and I needed to know more about these creatures. And I also really want to know why they all decided to leave Texas at the same time. I don't blame them for leaving Texas. No offense if you live in Texas, but I don't blame them, but I have questions. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, these creatures are fascinating, and they were fascinating in ancient culture. They're fascinating now. From ancient to modern, armadillos appear all across art in the Americas. They are painted on ceramic incense burners, masks, and ritual vessels from ancient Mayan culture. And oftentimes this art was tied to underworld imagery or agricultural fertility. In Oaxaca, brightly painted wooden armadillo, alebrijes, serve as spirit guides or animals representing strength and quiet protection. In Andean folklore, the armadillo's shell transforms into the body of the charango, a small, lute-like instrument. And the musicians that play these instruments believe that the animal's spirit infused into the music that was played with this magical instrument and imbued the music with a grounding, connecting energy, a magic that connected the music and the listener into a moment and to the energy and magic of the earth, which is the coolest thing ever. The Aztec term Ayoto Chitli, turtle rabbit, captures the armadillo's duality. It is swift, yet armored, soft, yet shielded. Innately, it embodies paradox, which is one of the trickster archetype's favorite tools. In stories across the Americas, armadillo often fools stronger animals like jaguar or coyote by playing dead, rolling into armor, or just vanishing underground. And in these stories, it always wins. It always outwits the quote-unquote stronger animal. Because it thrives not through brute force, but through cunning and adaptability, which is a trickster's go-to tools in their toolbox. The armadillo has a lot to offer as a teacher and as a guide, with its strongest lesson being in boundaries and protection. Armadillo reminds us to honor our soft hearts while shielding them wisely. Armadillo helps us understand that healthy boundaries are also magical, that they are empowering, and that they are non-negotiable to living a fulfilling life, allowing us to move safely through life without losing ourselves to the people and places and situations that are around us. The Maya tales show the armadillo as a humble disruptor, turning arrogance into laughter, which is why the armadillo is also an excellent guide in humility, and in humor, in not taking life so fucking seriously. Because really, you can take life as seriously as you want to. If you or someone you know needs to lighten up, to lighten their load, or to let go, the armadillo might be a great spirit guide to reach out to find a path to those lessons, into that letting go space, into welcoming in more laughter. Now, as burrowers, armadillos are seekers of hidden things, and they call us to explore buried truths, ancestral roots, and all of the unseen layers beneath the mundane. If you want to welcome more magic into your life, if you are seeking on any journey on which one can seek, doesn't matter where you're going or what you're doing, if you are a seeker, the armadillo can help you find what your next step is, can help you uncover your next move. Because they are the ultimate guides to helping us dig deep. And finally, with them being so long-lived of a species, and with them being able to thrive across deserts, forests, grasslands, wherever they find themselves, armadillos teach us to endure and to evolve, to find a way forward no matter how strange the landscape. My dear listener, if armadillo energy enters your life, or if it calls to you now, you might have an invitation waiting for you. An invitation to reassess your boundaries and ask, where are you overexposed? Or where are you overly armored? You may also be invited to dig inward and to ask what truths lie buried in your shadow or in your ancestral roots. Or perhaps you're being called to practice humility. And in that instance, you could ask yourself where you can soften, laugh at yourself, or yield to a situation that needs you to yield. And to do so, accepting that yielding doesn't mean you're losing your strength. Or perhaps, my dear one, you are just being called to this energy so that you can ground yourself, so that you can take your grounding practice to a different level and seek the steady wisdom of an earth guide, an earth spirit like Armadillo that can guide us into a place of silence, peace, and tranquility when all of life, everything around us, feels so damn chaotic. Whatever the call, the armadillo moves, and it moves low. It moves quiet. It hugs the earth as it does so, armored yet vulnerable at the same time, humble yet enduring. The armadillo has walked alongside gods and heroes in the oldest stories, and it still wanders our roadsides and our backyards today. A creature of thresholds between myth and modernity, earth and underworld, the armadillo is quite the magical little creature. Next time you glimpse one of these odd little guys nosing around through the grass, consider what it carries. The loom of a goddess, the laughter of humbled gods, the tricks of underworld heroes, and the music of ancestral strings. The armadillo's story is one that waits for those who are willing to look closer, and those who are willing to dig just a little bit deeper. That's all I have for you this episode, my dear listener. If you want to contact me or you want to leave me your feedback, you'll find all of that and more in the show notes. as well as links to the rest of my work. Until next time, my name is Wishamaya. Don't forget to keep your roots deep and your dreams wild.